सहनाववतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We had seen in the morning the topic of Praman. So I had said that there is a link. What is the Praman? Accordingly we will have knowledge, and knowledge will determine desire, and desire will determine efforts. So very important thing in life is to keep the right Praman. Please see that Vasana should not become your Praman. If somebody likes to smoke and he says smoking is very joyful to me, this is his knowledge. This knowledge is born out of his Vasana. Because any Praman, which is a Praman, what is the quality of Praman? Minimum qualities. That it should be same for everybody. It should be abadhitam. It should be not be negatable. Like this is a paperweight. So it will be paperweight for me at all time. Not that tomorrow it becomes elephant. Or I see as paperweight and you see this as cow. So it should not be negatable. Okay. Just get some fundamental point. So it should not be negatable. Very important point. How will you say in Sanskrit? Those who want abadhitam. If you don't understand Sanskrit word and you can't write, don't worry. Relax. Abadhitam. Some are there who understand. Second thing about Praman should be, it should be asandigdham. It should be doubtless. It should not be doubtful. The knowledge is not clear. It should not be doubtful. I don't know, this is this or this. Well, you understood the subject? Well, yes, something understood, something. That means knowledge has not taken place. You are still having a doubt. Like this is paperweight, there is no doubt about it. Doubtless knowledge is this is a watch. Doubtless knowledge is there. If supposing doubt is there, then you clear the doubt. Then I think you go for either you ask somebody what it is, either you test your eyes. So this is called asandigdham. One more point in Praman. It is called anadigatam. It should not be known by another means. Only one Praman is there. Eyes are the Praman for paperweight. How did you know it is a paperweight? By smelling? No. One means of knowledge should be there for knowledge. You can't have two means of knowledge. At least three conditions should be there for Praman. Asandigdham, abaditam and anadigatam. Will you say the English word? English word is only known by that area. Okay, I am understanding. Oh, yes. Why you are talking about Pramana? Because I have to tell that these Vedas are not a book. Achha, there are just little information. There are two kind of praman. Let me move ahead. So two kind of praman is there. Yes. So what are the two kind of praman? One is called primary source of knowledge, other is called secondary source of knowledge. Oh. Shall I say the Sanskrit word also or leave it? Say that? Okay. So even if you had said no, I would have said. So I was just asking just for formality. So Sanskrit word, you should hear some Sanskrit words. Even if you don't understand, keep on hearing new words. Always one should have love for knowledge. Today also if I get some new word, I'll try to note it somewhere. Some new shlok, I have lot of diaries. Immediately I'll write it if I get some new words. Even if a child says some new word, I will always try to find out what he's saying. But my interest is in diary. No, that you cannot get. So first thing is that primary source of knowledge is called Upajivya Praman in Sanskrit. Upajivya. Independent source of knowledge is there. That is called independent source of knowledge. Upajivya. And secondary source of knowledge is that is called little dependent source of knowledge. Okay. First is independent source of knowledge, other is dependent, slightly dependent. Now if I say this is a paperweight, how did I know? By eyes. Is it independent or dependent? Huh? Independent. Independent. Independent, right? You are hearing the class. By which praman you are hearing? Huh? Pratyaksh. Directly by ears you are hearing. Understanding or not, I am not talking. Because there another praman is required. But this much you are hearing something. This is primary source of knowledge or secondary source of knowledge? Primary. Directly you are hearing. Directly you are hearing. You don't need anything else. No other aid is required to hear. Oh, right. So this is called Upajivya Praman. So Upajivya Praman is called, it is powerful because nobody can refute that you are not hearing. If somebody says no, you have not heard, well, no. I have understood or not, you can question. But I definitely was sitting here, I heard. No, Swamiji was sitting. How did you know? I saw from my own eyes. I was also sitting there. No, but you have doubt or not? No, I have no doubt. What? That Swamiji was sitting. Direct source, I directly saw it. I directly saw him sitting. I directly heard him. So I have no doubt that he was sitting. I have no doubt. Okay. This is called Upajivya or primary source of knowledge. Oh, acha, acha, acha. And what is secondary? Coming. Wait, hold on. Still a lot of time is there in the class. No, I'm in a hurry. So don't be in a hurry. So, in that primary source of a knowledge, there are 2-3 points. Everywhere 3 points, yes. So first is that primary source of knowledge has a unique field. What is the meaning of unique field? Eyes has its own unique field. Ears has their own unique field. Nose has its own unique field. Field, understand? No? Area. Eyes are in the area of field is forms. Ears has the field of sound. And nose has the field of smell. And tongue has this field of taste. Unique field. Unique means they don't interfere with each other. Well, if from my ears I tasted, no problem. You cannot taste by ear. How much you can put the dal inside the ear? no taste will come. Well, how did you hear? By tongue. I did like this. I heard everything. See, we have to learn from this sense organ. They don't interfere in each other area. Although they are very close. They are very close, but they don't fight with each other because they don't interfere. So if you are living also with each other, don't interfere too much. I tell you, through the body we can learn a lot. I will take another class about it. That what we can learn from the body. So first point is that they have their own unique field. This is what I said by anadigatam. Okay. Second thing is they are independent. They are not dependent. My ear is not working. It doesn't mean my eyes are also not working. If a person is deaf, but he may be not dumb. Second, they're independent. Okay. Third point is that each source of knowledge cannot be verified by another source of knowledge. Anadigatam. फिर से बोले, each source of knowledge does not need verification. I saw, ears need not verify. Neither ear can verify, neither ear can refute. I am seeing you are sitting. So ears have no authority to say that I saw him sitting. I guess he was. Ears have neither ear can refute sitting, neither ear can validate sitting. Uniqueness, second one, independent, and third is verification. Okay. Each knowledge is non-verifiable knowledge. Very important points are there. I didn't know it was so difficult. Evening class is very easy. Wait, not difficult. Why are you worrying? And therefore, after the knowledge has taken place, there is no verification. It is a final knowledge. That time final. Knowledge is final. What is final? Knowledge is final. But what? That you are hearing is a final knowledge. Unique, independent, non-verifiable and final. This is the four property of primary source of knowledge. Very good. I think I'm getting the point. It's not that difficult. I'm also intelligent. Problem is this, so I understand also. So who told you? No, I am feeling. I'm feeling like that. Please you write Praman for making this statement. So this is the primary source of knowledge. Now come to secondary source. What was the Sanskrit word? No, I told. उपजीवी नहीं बोला था. उपजीव्य and उपजीवी. सेकेंडरी सोर्स नहीं बोला था. उपजीवी नहीं बोला था भाई. उपजीवी in Sanskrit it is called उपजीवी प्रमाण. One is उपजीव्य and other is उपजीवी. Upjivi means it is dependent on the first one. The secondary source of knowledge is dependent on the primary source of knowledge. Achha. Now I will ask you the question. Seeing the smoke in the mountain, I infer fire. This is primary source of knowledge or secondary source of knowledge? Secondary source. Why? Because it needs verification. It is not final. How much fire was there? I can't. Let me go and then tell. How the fire came? I don't know. I just saw that. I suppose fire is there. How much fire is there? When is there? I have to verify that. And therefore, this is a verifiable knowledge. Dhyan dena. You are sitting here and listening to me. This is primary source of knowledge. You told to your father, mother or friend, I had a class in the morning. I hope it was a good class. You wrote something. You and that person heard through you. That is primary source for him or secondary source? Secondary because he has to verify that. He can be very, he's not yet sure 100%. For you it is primary, but for other person it is not primary. Bole, did you hear properly? Bole, yes, I heard properly. You heard Swamiji properly? Yes, of course I heard properly. Of that knowledge what other person is having, he has to verify to confirm. Then he can ask you, okay, tell me what you heard. Then it will be final that you heard or not properly. Okay, okay, okay. So inference is primary source or secondary? 6 knowledges were there. Come back. Inference is primary or secondary? Pratyaksha is primary or secondary? Say secondary. Primary. Okay. Arthapatti is primary or secondary? Secondary. Anuplabdhi, Upaman, all secondary because they all depend on the Pratyaksha Praman. Oh, yeah, this was not told in Vedanta course. Okay. So all secondary source of knowledge are non-final knowledge. It needs verification. Okay, okay. GPS is primary or secondary? Primary. Secondary. Turn right. 400 meters. Turn left. Keep quiet. I'm so surprised, so nice system is there. But sometimes it can take you to another area also. It can take you to Amlazi. You keep on turning left and right because it can take you some other destination. Now my point is, what is the primary source of knowledge? It's called Prabal Praman, powerful means of knowledge. And what is secondary source of knowledge is less powerful means of knowledge. Oh, yes, I think you're right. Because you 100% confirm. And other needs confirmation. Acha, supposing I went to Kailash and I wrote a book on Kailash. After going to Kailash, they write a book many times. Nobody reads, but they write. So, they wrote a book on Kailash. That this was the area of circumambulation. This was the height. It was too cold. We had put on 4 jackets. And it was so cold, ice came between my body and the jacket. So when I took out my clothes, cut, whole ice broke. This happens in some area, in Siachen Glacier, etc. Not in Kailash. Achha, very nice darshan. Shivling was there. On the Shivling there was a Tripund. Bhagwan had Tripund. Like you have ash Tripund, he had ice Tripund. Ice. Achha, it really happened. Because I have gone there and seen all these things. Sometimes his form comes, sometimes this time when we went, eyes came of Bhagwan, Lord Shiva, nose came, lips came on the Kailash mountain. So that Kailash mountain is like a whole Shivji sitting there. It is not a mountain, therefore nobody could climb in. Bhagwan says, don't climb on my head. So is like that. And I wrote a book. This is primary source of knowledge or secondary source? For you it is secondary source of knowledge. For me it may be primary. Because you have not seen, you are believing, you have to verify it. Okay. This Upanishad. Now coming to the point. Whole thing was for this. Oh, this Upanishad or Vedas are not the secondary source of knowledge. Upanishad or the Vedas, because it is not somebody's experience he has written it. Because book is somebody's experience. Sometimes book have author. When you have book, write a book. In your college also, there is author. W.B. Clark, Matthews. Some author is there. First thing is author. There is no author here. This is not a secondary source of knowledge. It's a primary source of knowledge. And therefore this is revealed. That means after hearing the Upanishad, you don't have to confirm. That time only knowledge should take place. It's a final there and then only. But my knowledge does not take place. When I heard Upanishad, my knowledge did not take place, Swamiji. Then you have an eyes problem. Huh? Eyes problem? That means your mind is not ready. You should have knowledge should have taken place. I didn't understand. Somebody, I said it is a watch. He said I'm not able to see properly. It is watch or rubber band or it is a strap only. Other person says no, it is a watch only. So I think you have to go to optometrist or ophthalmologist and you have to go for cataract operation because you are not able to see this. It is your problem, not the watch is not a problem. So if you hear Upanishad and you don't have the knowledge while hearing only, so it is a problem of your mind. That means your mind is not that pure. Then what shall I do? You go to sadhana now. Go to evening class. Acha? Supposing I listen for 20 years also, then also knowledge has not taken place then. No, then eyes are quite defective. So you have to keep on doing the operation. No, but cataract operation is hardly for 15 minutes to half an hour. No, you have a super cataract. Mental cataract is there. So it may take many births. Okay, keep quiet now. So this Upanishad, this Vedas are not the dhyan dena. Don't approach Veda as a book. Vedas are not a book merely. It is a praman. It is a praman. It is a means of knowledge. It's the eyes to see what is the truth. It is the eyes to see what is truth. Like this eyes will say this is white, this is black. Eyes will say this is black, this is white, this is yellow, this is orange. Who said? Eyes. Directly praman is there. Similarly, Vedas will say this is truth, this is Atma, this is Brahman. Only but supposing I don't understand, again we are coming to the same point. If you don't understand, please go and check your antakaran. Okay, you have to do that. Okay, so this is called the. So in Sanskrit, Veda is which praman? Huh? Which praman? No. Two kinds of primary and upajivya pramana. Some are tube light. So upajivya praman is there. You don't understand also what I'm asking. This is something else. Anyway, so it is, and therefore it is prabal praman. So this is the way to approach the Vedas. Now, Shabda Praman were two categories. If you remember, I said Lokik Shabda Praman and Vedic Shabda Praman. Lokik means worldly, which is through a person only. Somebody has written or found some law. Somebody has found some law, and depending on that person's name, law has been made. Gravitational law is there, or science, lot of laws are there. If you read physics, chemistry, biology, botany, commerce, somebody has, lot of people are involved in that. In 1866 this has happened, then that knowledge came in 1922, then this is lot of laws are. You will never see that Ishwar is there one. So that knowledge which is revealed only by God, It is only from God. Coming in somebody's mind is called Vedic Shabda Pramana. In the morning class, we had seen it. I hope you have not forgotten that. Yes, I have not forgotten something. Why you have so much less confidence on me? I have not forgotten at all. Okay, so now next point is there. What is the next point? In Vedic Praman also, there is a Ved Purva Bhag and there is a Ved Ant Bhag. Ved Purva Bhag is the earlier part of the Vedas, and Ved Ant Bhag is the bolo, Upanishad or Vedanta. So Ved Purva Bhag deals with which Purusharth? Arth, Kam and Dharma. And Ved Antbhag deals with Moksha Purusharth. They have their own area where they deal with it. Don't ask what is Dharma Purusharth. Or don't ask what is Kam Purusharth. So many classes I took on Earth and Kam, etc. If still there is a doubt, then you please ask among your friends. Ask the person who has no doubt. So this is the division. This deals with this deals with this there. Now this coming on to the Moksha Purusharth. You are going to know about the Atma. Atma is the subject or the object? Subject. Atma is the subject. It is the observer and not the observed. Therefore, can the Atma be known by Pratyaksh Praman? Because Pratyaksh Praman is dealing with the objective world. And therefore, Atma cannot be known by Pratyaksh Praman. You can't say, I saw the Atma. Where? It was in my room near the table. Which side of the table? Right side where drawer is there. Under that second drawer, Atma was there. How was the Atma? I think it's blue color. See, it must be cobweb. No, don't make fun of my Atma. So, acha, you saw that under the drawer. Yes, second drawer, it was lying down. It was hanging here. Going here, then here, then here. Acha. Who saw? Me. You are Atma or that was Atma? Huh? That what you saw under a table. That was Atma or you are Atma? Only I am Atma. Then what was that? How can that? Well, I don't know, but it appeared like Atma. Don't talk nonsense, okay? What is object cannot be Atma because Atma is I straight away. Don't make unnecessarily a statement. I saw Atma. Atma ran away. Atma came out of the body and Atma went away. Bhatakti Atma, that Atma, Bhut Atma. For a moment, you remove all these unnecessary things from your mind. We will discuss about that also. But till we are studying, at least park all these notions, unnecessary notions. We'll see what Atma is. But what about that Pret Atma, Bhut Atma? We'll see about that. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about that, yes. Oh, good. Now, if the Atma is not an object, it cannot be known by Pratyaksh Praman. So Pratyaksh Praman came and said, may I help you? So he said, no, you cannot help me. It's not your area. It's not your area. Swamiji, tell me something about the kidney. Huh? How the kidney functions, not my area. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell about the kidney. Somebody came, Swamiji, tell me how to, if the car is not working and this compressor of that engine of the car, how to make that engine okay. See, it's not my area, don't trouble me. If while cooking the food is burned, how to make it unburned? Don't, it is not my area. These pramana only respect. You remember I said it is a unique area, and they don't interfere in another area. 4 points were there. You don't ask. First was uniqueness. Second, independent. Third was non-verifiable. And fourth was final. You are catching so fast. Very good. So Pratyaksh Praman, Atma cannot work. You know what is the problem now? What? Anuman Praman cannot work. Because Anuman is based on Pratyaksh only. Inference cannot work. Then postulation, Arthapatti cannot work. Then next was Upman comparison. You cannot say this Atma is like this. Comparison cannot work. Then non-cognition or anuplabdhi cannot work. Why? You are asking about the presence and then you are using the non-cognition as a praman. Atma which is present, it cannot be used a praman which is not present also. And therefore all the 5 praman said, sorry, it's not my area. And therefore comes 6th praman. Vedic Shabda Praman. Vedic, not Laukik Shabda Praman. Vedic Shabda Praman. No, I'm reading a book on Atma. Who wrote? Stephen, some Stephen has wrote. W.B.S. Stephen. Concept of Atma. He has wrote a book. Suppose I'm just imagining. He has written a concept. First thing, Atma is not a concept. You don't make Atma as concept. Concept is a thought. Atma is not a thought. And therefore, conclusion is you need Vedic Shabda Praman, which is primary Praman. I see, I think that makes a sense. Therefore, please approach the Upanishad not as a book, but as a means of knowledge. But how do I know that the means of knowledge is right or wrong? How do I know that means of knowledge is right or wrong? Only one way, use it. These glasses are there. How do I know glasses are okay or not okay? You have to use it. If you go to the optometrist, he will put on many glasses. He will put on one glasses. First machine he'll put, and then he will ask you, this is okay? Read that first line. Well, first line is very easy. WCL. They are not in sequence. Second line. PQSN. And you are very happy. Unnecessarily, because anybody could have read. Third line. Third line to strain. N T L. Fourth line you also can't read. So small it is there. Now you'll change it. Change the glasses. Earlier one better or this one better? This is better. Okay. This is better or this is better? Don't hurry. Let me see. This is better or that is better? Both are good. No. Both cannot be good because that was higher one. This is better, that is better. This is better. Okay. This is better. Earlier one, this is better, and that was also better. This is a praman. Got my point? Only by operating the praman you will know whether it was wrong or right. Get my point? About Atma, Upanishad is going to say something. Whether Upanishad is saying right or wrong, you better operate it. No, tongue is the praman for taste. You have to use the tongue and find out really it is a praman or not. You have no doubt, no, my tongue is the praman for taste. Tongue is the means of knowledge for taste. Nobody can refute it. No, but I will taste through eyes. You will know that was a wrong praman I used. It was a wrong praman. Unnecessarily it is a wrong pramana used. So by using the praman, you will find it out it was right or wrong. Supposing you joined the course with belief, with a you will know in time whether it was a right decision or wrong. Whether really I got the knowledge or not. Why? We're talking of praman. And therefore this praman is called the Vedic Shabda Praman. So you are going to approach the Upanishad not as a book only. Book is a secondary meaning of Upanishad, this book. Primary meaning is it is a means of knowledge. Okay. Understood. I'm understanding quite a bit today. Okay. Now next point. This word, therefore, Ved Ant means not end. End is a very deceptive word. It is not that this is Ved, this is whole Ved, and this last portion is this is Vedant. It's not like that. Ant means essence or extracted. What is the essence? Maybe in the Vedas, in between there is Upanishad in Rig Veda. So Ant means ultimate here. When you discuss, supposing 1 hour, then you say, okay, what was your last conclusion? What was the ultimate point? Where did you reach ultimately? So you are not using end word in a chronological meaning. You are using as the what is the last point. Well, what was the last point of your discussion? Last point, Purnamada. No. This is not what I mean. I mean to say, what was the essence of your discussion? Okay. I hope you understand. So Vedant is not that is end portion. Even if end portion is said, it is not a chronological end that this is Rig Veda. It means ultimately what is the last point Upanishad has to say. Sometimes say, okay, Swamiji, what is your last message? You are leaving the place. Sometimes they ask me, what is your last message? But 7 days yagnas I did. Now still you want, just say in few words, last message. This is the meaning of Vedant. Okay.